this afternoon also has a statement that he will be seeking responses to from the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration, and this regards concerns on fairness, equity, and national cohesion in the recruitment exercise conducted by the Kenya Ports Authority. This is a statement that the Honorable Senator for Wajir County will be seeking responses to, or at least to be able to understand this particular concern from the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration. If you're just joining us, that the House is about to commence. Members of the Senate are making their way into the chamber, and of course in a short while we should be expecting to see the Speaker's procession making its way into the House to be able to signal that the House can commence. And right at the far end of the red carpet aisle, we can see the Speaker's procession leading straight from the Speaker's office into the chamber. Sergeant at Arms, and of course with the mess ahead of the Speaker, symbol of authority. That procession is making its way into the House. The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi, he will be presiding over this afternoon sitting. That is the procession of the Speaker making its way into the chamber. You will now allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast that is brought to you by PBU in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Good afternoon.
Sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu, tutakuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do you have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
Members of the Senate are still making their way into the House. The prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the Speaker has indicated that the quorum has not been attained yet for the House to be able to commence its sitting, and directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes to give room to the members of the Senate to be able to make their way into the House. And as we continue or as we wait for the House to correct, is that we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting this afternoon. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 52, paragraph 1, the Senator for Narok County, Honorable Ledama Olekina, will make a statement regarding the current fiscal approach adopted by the National Treasury on the funding of Parliament and its critical functions. This is a statement that the Honorable Senator for Narok County will this afternoon make on the floor of the House. Now, you will recall that on Wednesday afternoon, during the afternoon sitting, members of the Senate began debate regarding the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Bill number 21 of 2025, whose monies are to be given to the counties, the marginalized counties or counties that have been categorized as marginalized, and to benefit from this fund by the end of the 30th of the year 2026. And this is a bill that debate on it has not yet been concluded or exhausted. This matter is coming up or lined up for resumption on the floor of the House this afternoon. Some of the concerns that members of the Senate raised during the debate on the afternoon of Wednesday, the 6th of May, the year 2026, were concerns around the delays in the disbursement of these monies to the areas or to the counties which need to receive these monies and be able to undertake projects that these monies are intended to fund, projects on the water sector, projects on the infrastructure, projects on healthcare, and also projects on electricity, where the counties are yet to receive these resources or to be able to be at par with other counties. These monies are the ones that are meant or intended to conduct that particular work. However, the concerns that members of the Senate were raising yesterday during the debate is that the Treasury has been delaying in the disbursement of these monies, and they were indicating that they need to find a strategy to be able to ensure that the monies are disbursed on time. One other concern that was raised, more members of the Senate making their way into the House, just to remind you, is that the work of the Senate also includes that which is done from the committees, not just the one that is done at the plenary. So members of the Senate also have to work from the committees and then also make their way into the House during the afternoon sitting. So regarding the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, members of the Senate also called on the governors to be able to ensure that the funds... let's listen into the Speaker. Good afternoon.
Honorable Senators, we do have quorum now, so kindly take your seats so that we start the day's business. Clerk, you may call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Now, Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of 2 teachers and 48 students from Enomatasiani Girls School in Kajiado County. The delegation is visiting the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Nairobi City County, and 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
For a moment there, I thought the Speaker had forgotten that Kajiado is neighbors and borders Nairobi. Many people from Kajiado call it the bedroom of Nairobi. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all the students who have come to visit us this afternoon. I wish them a good session here in the Senate. I'm hoping that you will stay long enough to follow some of the debate. We wish you well in your studies. We're hoping that in future, some of you can sit in this chamber, because I can assure you, other than I think Senator Cherargei, many of us don't plan to be here forever. So I am hoping that I am hoping that you I am hoping that you will one day occupy these seats, but you need to focus on your education now. Get done with that, and we wish you all the best as the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Majority Leader, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, 7th May 2026. Annual report of the Office of the Control of Budget for financial year 2024-2025.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52. The statement by the Senator for Narok County, Senator Ledama, is deferred. Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. The Senator for Kakamega County, the Honorable Dr. Boni Halwale.
Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the disputed property in Kakamega Town, namely that land belonging to Otiende Estate and adjacent parcel of public interest on which faith-based academy is built. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the ownership status, acreage and title numbers of the land comprising Otiende Estate and the adjacent parcel of public interest on which faith-based academy is built, including authenticated copies of the original title documents relating to both properties. 2, whether the parcel of land on which faith-based academy is built was lawfully transferred, allocated, leased, or otherwise made available to faith-based academy or any private developer, including the legal and administrative procedure that was followed. 3, whether the requisite approvals were obtained for the transfer, allocation, lease, or change of use of the land, including, Mr. Speaker, approvals by the Kakamega County Executive Committee, the Kakamega County Assembly, and the National Land Commission, and copies of the relevant minutes, resolutions, Hansard proceedings in the County Assembly, and relevant approvals. 4, whether public participation was undertaken before the transfer, allocation, lease, or change of use of the public interest land, including the public participation report, minutes, attendance register, and particulars of the members of the public who participated in the public participation. 5, the basis and procedure used, if any, to hive off approximately 2 acres from 16-acre Otiende estate land, which is being fenced for use by Faith-Based Academy. 6, the nature of interest held by Faith-Based Academy and its appropriators in the disputed parcels of land, and whether the interest is held jointly, separately, or through any entity connected to Faith-Based Academy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Samburu County, the Honorable Dr. Lelegwe.
Request for statement on implementation of corporate social responsibility programs by the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company Limited in Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Energy on a matter of county-wide concern regarding implementation of corporate social responsibility programs by the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company Limited, Kentraco, in Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, Samburu County hosts several strategic energy transmission infrastructure, including the Ethiopia-Kenya 500 kV and the Loyangalani-Suswa 400 kV transmission lines. These projects are of immense national and regional significance, contributing to energy security, regional power trade, and grid stability. Despite this contribution, there is no visible evidence of meaningful CSR interventions by Kentraco in Samburu County. This is in contrast with other counties hosting similar transmission infrastructure, including Kajiado County, which has benefited from visible CSR interventions under projects such as the Kenya-Tanzania Power Interconnection Project. Further, Samburu County remains among the counties with low connectivity to the national electricity grid despite hosting major energy infrastructure. This raises questions of equity, inclusion, and public accountability in the way host communities benefit from national infrastructure projects. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the details of all corporate social responsibility initiatives by Kentraco in Samburu County since the commissioning of the Ethiopia-Kenya 500 kV and the Loyangalani-Suswa 400 kV transmission lines, including the scope, cost, location, and beneficiaries of each of the initiatives. 2, whether Kentraco conducted stakeholder mapping, public participation, or community needs assessment in Samburu County before, during, or after the implementation of the projects to inform CSR planning, and if so, obtain the relevant reports, attendance records, and evidence of how community priorities were incorporated in their CSR programs. 3, whether there are any other planned Kentraco CSR interventions targeting education, health, environmental conservation, community infrastructure, and electricity connectivity within Samburu County, and if so, obtain the associated implementation timelines. 4, a comprehensive analysis of CSR investments undertaken by Kentraco in all counties hosting its energy transmission infrastructure, and the reasons for any disparities in the allocation of CSR resources across the counties. And 5, the measures put in place by the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum and Kentraco to ensure equitable distribution of CSR benefits across and within counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Marsabit County, the Honorable Mohammed Chute.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Senator of Marsabit County, I read his request for statement: emergency rehabilitation of roads in Marsabit County damaged by heavy rains. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the deterioration of several key roads in Marsabit County following the recent heavy rains. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ongoing rains have caused extensive damage to road infrastructure across Marsabit County. Flooding and erosion have rendered critical transport corridors impassable, severely disrupting the movement of people, goods, humanitarian assistance, medical referrals, and security operations. This situation has exposed residents on economic hardship, delayed emergency response services, and heightened vulnerability among already marginalized communities. The most affected roads include the Odada-Nadaba Road, Nyayo Road within Marsabit Town, Uran Road, the Loyangalani Access Road, the Shur Marsabit Road, and the Songa Marsabit Road. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The immediate interventions being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transportation to rehabilitate the affected roads, including timelines for restoration of accessibility. 2. The coordination mechanisms between the national government, Kenya Rural Roads Authority, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and the county government to ensure swift response in maintaining roads in the area and ensure continued accessibility of affected roads during the rainy seasons. 3. Whether a rapid assessment has been conducted to determine the extent of damage caused by the recent heavy rains across Marsabit County, and especially the resources allocated for emergency repair works. And 4, the long-term plans and the budgetary provisions in place to upgrade, climate-proof and improve drainage systems along these roads to enhance resilience against recurrent flooding and extreme weather events. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Wajir County, the Honorable Abbas Mohammed.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration on matters of national concern regarding the concerns of fairness, equity, and national cohesion. So on matter of national cohesion concern of national cohesion in March 2026 recruitment exercise conducted by KBA, Kenya Port Authority. Honorable Speaker, the recruitment exercise conducted by Kenya Port Authority has led to public outcry regarding regional balance, inclusivity, and adherence to the constitutional principles of equity, diversity, and equal opportunity in public service. As a national institution serving the entire Republic of Kenya, Kenya Port Authority is expected to reflect the face of Kenya in its deployment practice. In the statement, the committee shall address the following: the number of positions advertised, the number of applicants, and the number of successful candidates in the recruitment exercise, disaggregated by county, region, gender, persons with disability.
Unfair, because if you look what the Ministry of Roads did, they only allocated over 8 billion to under Kura within Nairobi City County roads, Mr. Speaker, leaving other counties. And you know, under Kera budget, there is always emergency funds. And I know you have been served as member of parliament before. I don't know whether the Kera emergency funds, 40%, and even Senator Maanzo has already been there. So the question is, why would they allocate only Nairobi 8 billion, Mr. Speaker? And even they have gone ahead to put 5 billion within CBD roads, Jogo roads, and Soweto areas, Mr. Speaker. So I believe the Ministry of Roads and Transport must tell us what is happening, because we would have expected in this 8 billion that is allocated to Nairobi, at least each and every county should get at least some allocation for repair of roads, Mr. Speaker, while we empathize and sympathize with Kenyans, because we are told across the country for a couple of few days, 18 Kenyans have died. And we have seen even across the country. Remember, Iten Kabarnet Road was blocked because of heavy rains. There is a bridge in my county called Chebnoet Bridge, Mr. Speaker. There is one in Bonjoke in Aldai. There is another one, Mr. Speaker, in Tindred constituency, Mr. Speaker, in Nandi County. And I know it's virtually across many counties, Mr. Speaker. So we hope the Roads and Transport Committee will be able to tell us. Finally, secondly, Mr. Speaker, is there are many roads, Mr. Speaker, including your county, Kilifi, and across the country, even in Nandi, where contractors have been given contract. Would it be hard for the Ministry of Roads, through Kura, Kera, and Kena, who are the supervising agents, to ensure as the contractors do the roads, they maintain so that it becomes possible for the benefit of Kenyans that are using these roads, Mr. Speaker? And you saw even the case of Tana River. It is now flooding and people are moving because of heavy floods that we see in Tana River, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally on the issue of health, the one on Agriculture Committee, Mr. Speaker, I had a question where I had requested that under the Crops Act of 2019, Mr. Speaker, all cereals must measure 90 kilograms, must measure 50 kilograms. But Mr. Speaker, I brought, and I'm happy the Chair of Agriculture is there, that why is it that maize is measured at 50 kilograms, while potatoes, mung beans, Mr. Speaker, beans are measured at 50 kilograms. They are ripping off from maize farmers, Mr. Speaker, and I hope the Chair of Agriculture who is here should listen and address that matter, because it is affecting and demoralizing my maize farmers, Mr. Speaker, yet it is in the law. The National Cereals and Produce Board must and should buy maize at 50 kilos so that my maize farmers in Nandi, in Uasin and across the country can get opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, I equally arise to support Senator Chute. Mr. Speaker, recently Senator Chute took me and Senator Consolata to his county. And specifically, we, as a Committee of National Cohesion, we were going to help sort out some cohesive issues in the north, and especially with the border with Ethiopia. And Mr. Speaker, it took us over 12 hours to get to Moyale. But thank God and President Kibaki, he did the Moyale road. It used to take 4 days to get to Moyale from Nairobi. But any other place you have to leave the main road, Mr. Speaker, you cannot move. In fact, from Moyale to Mandera is 400 kilometers on a rough road with the rivers. And it tells me that if you go with a brand new car, and you have to carry 4 other new tires, because you are going to lose all your tires on the way. Mr. Speaker, bearing in mind that we have rolled a levy and that we are raising a lot of taxes from fuel, we should be able to grade roads and do roads in every single county of this nation, Mr. Speaker. The situation in Marsabit is very wanting, and Mr. Speaker, it's a county blessed with a lot of, resources, Mr. Speaker. We have places you can do new towns. We have places you can, do animals and even slaughter them there, and even, because of being halal, send them to Middle East very easily using cargo planes. The nation has not invested in northern Kenya, and I think it should begin with the roads. That is where it pains most, so that the people in that area can have access. The communities live far and wide. They are very hard to reach. And I think it's a high time now we made equal opportunity for this nation, Mr. Speaker. It is not only Marsabit County suffering, Makueni County also got a very little allocation even to do the roads which belong to the county. And after the rains, almost every county in the Republic, Mr. Speaker, has a challenge with feeder roads, with roads where you can transport food produce, where you can transport animals for those who rear animals. Mr. Speaker, I believe the committee dealing with roads should really take this matter seriously so that we have equal distribution of resources in the Republic. I thank you and I support.
Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator Boni Halwale kuhusu miliki wa ardhi, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kamati inayohusika ambayo inaongozwa na Senator wa Mombasa, Senator Faki, wanapaswa washughulikie hili jambo, kwa sababu umiliki wa ardhi katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa zile hati miliki za ardhi, unapata kunakuwa na migogoro unapata hata mauaji yanatokea, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa hizi hati miliki. Kwa hivyo kamati inapaswa wafuatilie kabisa, na hasa hii tume ya kitaifa ya ardhi waweze kutoa mwongozo dhabiti, kujulikane kwamba ni nani mwenye shamba, ana shamba kiasi kipi, ndio kuache kuwa na huu mgogoro ambao unapata na hawa wakora wanaingilia katikati na wanaanza kunyakua mashamba ya watu, Bwana Spika. Na hilo ndilo jambo ambalo linasumbua. Ukienda Laikipia, mheshimiwa, mahali kunaitwa Dhome, shida ni hii, watu hana hati miliki za mashamba. Kwa hivyo hawa wafanyi biashara walagai wanaingilia kati na kuchukua zile shamba na kuleta vita. Si Dhome peke yake, Bwana Spika, ukienda mahali kunaitwa Kairigere na hata mahali kunaitwa Matanya, shida ni hii Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo hii shida ya mashamba iko sehemu nyingi ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Bwana Spika, katika taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator Chute, mambo ya barabara, Bwana Spika, nakubali kabisa kwamba mvua ni baraka, lakini vile vile haya maafa yanayoletwa na mvua, unapata barabara zetu ziko katika hali mbovu kabisa, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu ya vile wanakandarasi wanavyotengeneza barabara zetu na kutoweka ile mitaro ya kuondoa maji, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, ukitembelea mahali kutoka mahali kunaitwa Narumoro kuenda Ramuria, uende mpaka Makutano, barabara imeharibika kabisa na imeharibiwa na mvua, Bwana Spika. Vile vile ukienda mahali kutoka Nanyuki uende Mutara, uende mpaka Rumuruti, na vile vile uende mpaka mahali kunaitwa kwa Kungu, hali ni ile Bwana Spika. Lakini la kushangaza zaidi, Bwana Spika, ni hawa wanakandarasi ambao wanapewa kutengeneza barabara. Wanakuja wanachimba barabara, baada ya kuchimba barabara basi wanasema hawajalipwa. Kwa hivyo wanawacha barabara zetu zikiwa katika hali duni, mashimo chungu nzima, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo vile tungelitaka ni kama mtu hataweza kufanya chochote, awachane na barabara, badala ya kwenda kuchimba mashimo. Unapata watu wanakuja wanagonga yale mashimo ukiwa unaendesha gari, alafu kunakuwa na mikasa barabarani, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo kamati ambayo inahusika tungewarai wafuatilie haya mambo, ndio wanakandarasi ambao wanalegea katika kazi zao waweze kuchukuliwa
Senator Esi Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to support the statement by Senator Abbas on the status of the recruitment exercise at the Kenya Ports Authority. Mr. Speaker, I have received yeah? Oh, it's been dropped. That's what I wanted to comment on, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Well, expunge the little comments that you've made on the same. Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement by Senator Chute. Indeed, the issue of roads and infrastructure development across the country cannot be overemphasized. It is indeed, Mr. Speaker, as has been mentioned, that the distribution of the road construction in Kenya has been very, very skewed. And this, Mr. Speaker, I'll say with the special emphasis of the 52% of my county, which happens to be semi-arid, Mr. Speaker. And we see that during the rainy season, despite that being a food basket potential, the roads are impassable and the farmers are left, Mr. Speaker, with their food and they're not able to access the market. Mr. Speaker, if we came up with a different formula of how to implement this road, if we came up with new definition of what a contractor should be able to undertake, and I want to support what Senator Kenyua has said, some of the contractors, Mr. Speaker, who are given the roads are forced to undercut the contracts, and in the process of doing the work, they compromise the quality of the work, Mr. Speaker. And I'm speaking, Mr. Speaker, with a lot of pain because some of the roads that have been specifically done in Kieni constituency, which makes 52% of Nyeri, including the road that Senator Kenyua has mentioned, the one from Narumoro, Kiawara, all the way, Mr. Speaker. The road, which has been done a couple of years ago, it's no more. The cost of maintaining that road, Mr. Speaker, is going to be far much higher than the initial cost of construction. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is called upon us, Mr. Speaker, to relook at how we evaluate the contractors. We relook at, Mr. Speaker, the contractors who we award these contracts. And most important, Mr. Speaker, we must remit the political interference from the leadership, because of some of an ethical practices, they end up pushing the contractors to the edge, so that the contractors are forced to compromise the quality of the road, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, it is also very important to mention that we saw, for the first time in the history of this country, the northwestern region, which has been marginalized by all successful governments, have now gotten a 710 kilometers long road, Mr. Speaker, which is going to open up the potential in that area, Mr. Speaker. But as we're doing that, Mr. Speaker, let it also not be lost to us that some areas still remain marginalized, and the contractors and the ministry must come up with a methodology that will ensure that once we do a load, we do not do the road volume, we do proper roads that will be able to withstand the weather conditions, roads that will be able to withstand the conditions in those areas. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the statement first by Senator Chute on the maintenance of roads in his county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, why we have a road maintenance levy in every liter of fuel that we buy from the pump, Mr. Speaker, is so that we can be able to maintain our roads. Because it is not enough to build roads. Roads, once built, must be able to be maintained in order for them to continue giving services. And Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because there is a road also that affects my county, a road 12 kilometers, opened during the reign of the late President Moi in 1988, a dual carriageway connecting Thika to a town called Kenol. We have not seen since 1988, 38 years ago, or for some 38 years, we have not seen, spot holes in that particular road. And they are now there, because any time that road, Mr. Speaker, gets damaged, there is recapping. That is not happening, and we must call upon the Minister of Roads to maintain roads, because maintenance is what must be done besides making of new roads, Mr. Speaker. Allow me also, Mr. Speaker, to comment on the statement by Senator Boni Halwale on public land that he is seeking to see to it that the ownership of the same is established, and that there is an institution sitting, on a part of that particular land, Mr. Speaker. We must protect public land wherever it is, Mr. Speaker, because if we want to have future development, Mr. Speaker, and public utilities, expansion of public utilities, we must have land on which we will do that. Mr. Speaker, it will be remembered that not long ago, a part of Langata Road Primary School playfield had been grabbed by a neighboring hotel, Mr. Speaker. And this is a culture, this is a cancer that we must cure. That institutions, hotels, private investors and everybody must keep public land away from their plans, Mr. Speaker. So I want to support that land that belongs to the public in Kakamega, where a school is sitting. If the school is sitting on public land, then something must be done so that the same goes back to the public. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Mwenda Gataya.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I wish to support the statement by Honourable Chute on the state of roads in this country. Honourable Speaker, I don't know for what reasons that we have not been having equal distribution of roads. Roads, Honourable Speaker, is a very critical component in terms of development. Honourable Speaker, I come from the Tharaka County. The Tharaka County, Honourable Speaker, some parts have been seriously neglected. There is a road which from Chakariga to Marimanti, which is some very key institutions. The Tharaka University, Tharaka South District Headquarters, name them, all the big institutions in the Tharaka constituency, Honourable Speaker. That road was, I think it was launched around 2015, up to now. Even the part that road the part which was made has already started peeling off. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the road from Yamponi to Nkondi, which is all the way to the Tharaka University, it's now impassable, especially during these rain seasons. There are parts of the Tharaka constituency, the parts of Gatonga, the parts of Galangacheni. There is not things that, Honorable Speaker, that one cannot imagine that we are living in the same country. So, Honorable Speaker, it's a matter that the ministry should move with a lot of speed and make sure that every part of the country, every part of this country, Honorable Speaker, enjoys good infrastructure, because roads are a critical component in terms of environment, Honorable Speaker. So I want to agree with Senator Chute, not only in Matisabit, which has been neglected, there we have some serious part of this country that does not enjoy any good infrastructure in terms of roads, Honorable Speaker. It's an issue that should be looked at very critically by the ministry, and it's time, Honorable Speaker, that the people who are supposed to make sure that people get good roads, even the contractors who are supposed to be on the side, Honorable Speaker, should be paid on time so that maybe they can complete the roads that are already initiated, Honorable Speaker. In that arrangement, Honorable Speaker, I support the statement by Honorable Chute.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to contribute the statement by Senator Boni Kalwale. Honorable Speaker, public utilities are set aside for a specific cause, and it is becoming an alarming situation in our counties, Honorable Speaker, because public utilities are increasingly being leased out regardless of the purpose that was being set aside for. I therefore want to agree with Senator Monica Lwale and support this statement that the ownership of that land needs to be ascertained, and we need to ask our county governments not to abuse the powers that they have been given in collusion with officers from the National Land Commission who are based in the counties, Honorable Speaker, and begin allocating land while backdating documents, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have witnessed situations where, and you know we are fortunate, Honorable Speaker, the longevity of life in this country, the average lifespan is around 70 years. You find a number of former county council clerks, former county council treasurers, former county council chairmen and municipal chairmen, Honorable Speaker, and former chairs of planning committees of municipalities are still around with us. They are no longer in office, but they are signing documents, Honorable Speaker. And that is why you would find land like this one in Kakamega would easily change hands. And when you check out the documentation and the signatures, they are verifiable. However, the period in which it is being signed is not the period that was supposed to have been signed, Honorable Speaker, and therefore creating a loss of public utilities that would have been otherwise utilized for public good. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to comment on the issue of roads, statement by Senator Chute, and on the roads maintenance levy. Honorable Speaker, I also want to encourage counties. There are a number of county roads that transcend sub-counties and counties, Honorable Speaker. There is need for those counties to sit with the road agencies and upgrade, classify those roads so that they are properly classified and transferred to care, Honorable Speaker, so that national government can maintain. If you look at the distribution of roads between national and county governments, Honorable Speaker, you'll find there are more kilometers of roads in our counties compared to the number of kilometers of roads that has been set aside for maintenance by Kera, Kura, or Kena, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, counties need also to check and reclassify the roads so that appropriate agencies can take them up, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I sympathize with my friend Senator Mwenda Gadaya of Tharaka Nithi when he says that the roads in those places are neglected, and it tends to encourage me that, Honorable Speaker, the theory and the narrative of Mount Kenya seems there is a difference between Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West.
Now, honorable senators, we allow me to rearrange today's order paper. We will move to order number 17 and thereafter resume the normal flow of today's order paper. Clerk, kindly proceed to call that order.
Order number 17, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025, resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 6th May 2026, afternoon sitting, second reading.
Now, honorable senators, before I call upon those who wish to speak on this particular bill, allow me to make this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of 5 teachers and 6 students from MP Shah Chania Girls School in Kiambu County. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon Senator Christo Lasige under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity to greet and welcome the group from Chania Girls High School to the Senate. Speaker, this, of course, is something that we do every single week, week in, week out, where we have young people from across the country, from different walks of life coming to visit the Senate and to understand and experience what it is that we do here. Senate, as they may be aware by now, is mandated to protect the interests of counties. So their county as well, we take care of what comes, especially funding that comes to your county. So we are happy that you are here to experience and to see firsthand what we do here, how we debate, how we fight for the rights of all counties across the country, Speaker. And of course, as a young legislator myself, I'm particularly pleased whenever I am aware that young people, young girls, are also in the Senate, just like I am. Speaker, my story is very long. I will hopefully tell it to them one day when I meet them in the streets of Kenya, wherever that may be. But I want to encourage them, just like I have done with any young person that I meet, especially young girls, especially those with disabilities even, that you can absolutely get here if you so wish. If you put your mind to it, if you create the right environment for yourself to achieve and to continue to believe in yourself, just like me, even though I have a disability, I made it to the Senate. And if I have a disability and I made it to the Senate, you absolutely can as well. I continue to extend on behalf of the Senate a welcome to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon with us. I thank you.
Now, honorable senators, when debate was interrupted yesterday, Senator Consolata had the floor with a balance of 14 minutes. You may continue, honorable senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the additional time. Although I had almost completed or concluded my submission, but I had a few points because we were questioning about the absorption of this equalization fund that was meant to stabilize or improve on the quality of life of the people who come from marginalized communities. I was majorly focused on Bungoma County and specifically Mount Elgon, which has the allocation for the funds, but we are shocked to learn that these funds have not actually been absorbed or they have not been allocated. Reason being there was no submission of the project proposals. So I was wondering how a county of repute like Bungoma County can miss out on submitting proposals or project proposals when we have got so many youths in Bungoma County who are using digital spaces to look for jobs. Maybe if our county could task the youths to do some project proposals in regard to the marginalized areas, then this money would not be returned to the National Treasury. Instead, it could have been used to assist people from marginalized communities. The cases in point were areas in Mount Elgon, like Kaptama, Kopsiro, Chepiuk, Sambocho, Kapkurong, Chongeyo, Koshok, and other areas in Mount Elgon. you find that most social amenities in Mount Elgon are pathetic. For instance, the road infrastructure in Mount Elgon is wanting. Yet Mount Elgon happens to be a major food basket for Bungoma County. So I really want to reiterate the point that our leaders and the concerned authorities. Mr. Speaker, I seek for your protection from the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, you ought to be protecting the member, not...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the protection. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that protection. So echoing the points that were given by other senators in regard to their specific counties that required the Equalization Fund. So Mount Elgon has got a very poor road network, and it could be ideal if the authorities really maximized on that and did the relevant project proposals in order to get that money so that it can improve on the social amenities. It is a little bit weird to see women trekking to fetch water from very far places, looking for water, maybe to water their livestock and do irrigation, and maybe even for domestic use. And if you look at the health facilities, they are also pathetic. In some areas, we just have buildings, but they are not well equipped. There is no human capital in those hospitals. And this, as a mother, will always affect maternal and infant health care. And I'm calling upon the authorities to check on that. I want to stop there and still make a clarion call to Bungoma County leadership that let us all have a concerted effort to make project proposals that will yield some fruits and good health or quality services to the people of Bungoma. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that opportunity.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would want to make my contribution on this Equalization Fund bill, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, my attention has been drawn in the allocation of the funds, Honorable Speaker. Looking at some counties that are fairly heavily marginalized, Honorable Speaker, and looking at the resource allocation, and we would like CRA to relook into the formula of allocating these resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at a county like Elgeyo Marakwet County, Honorable Speaker, the total allocation is 87 million, Honorable Speaker. And Marakwet West has been allocated only 9 million. Marakwet East has been allocated 87 million. Keyo South has been allocated 9 million. Considering that Elgeyo, in fact, it is among the 10 counties that this Honorable House made a decision to allow for some affirmative action in the revenue sharing, Honorable Speaker, in order to allow those counties to have some semblance of equitable resources to develop their counties. If you look at a county like Elgeyo Marakwet, Honorable Speaker, to do a kilometer of road, just a simple all-weather road, Honorable Speaker, you would require close to 5 million per kilometer. If you go to a place like Wasingishu, you require 1.5 million, Honorable Speaker. When I look at the way these resources have been allocated, there is skewedness in the allocation of resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when you go to Narok County, for example, Honorable Speaker, you find the allocation in Narok County, Honorable Speaker, particularly the allocation to Emurua Digir constituency, Honorable Speaker, the allocation is so skewed if you compare to the allocation to the other constituencies within within Narok County, Honorable Speaker. If you look at, for example, Kilgore's constituency, which is just a neighboring constituency, they share the same geographical area, the same types of soils, population, almost population. Kilgore's constituency receives 350 million, whereas Emuru Adigiri constituency receives a paltry 36 million. When you look at Narok East, it receives 148 million. When you look at Narok North, it receives 246 million. When you look at Narok South, it receives 278 million. When you look at Narok West, it receives 195. That kind of disparity, Honorable Speaker, in a county cannot be explained. The demarcation of our counties, the elimination of boundaries, Honorable Speaker, considered so many factors, including geographical area, population, and so forth. I want to request that the Commission for Revenue Allocation reconsiders the formula they are using to allocate these resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the counties that have been receiving the largest share of our equitable revenue, in the Equalization Fund, Honorable Speaker, they have continued to receive additional resources. If this fund is going to continue, Honorable Speaker, then we might need to review the basis of allocation and consideration for Equalization Fund, putting into consideration the efforts the national government has done in improvement of infrastructure, Honorable Speaker. If you look at counties